Mr. Carter, recognized.
Oh, good. Thank you. Mr. King, Dr. King, thank you for being here this week. We appreciate the time that you have that you've committed to us this week very much. You know, I'm a freshman member of the House, and quite often I'm asked, what have you done since you've been there? And I point to this, and I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, because this is one of the things that I'm very proud of that we've done, this devolution of power from the federal level to the state level, and it's very important. You're going to play an important role. Your department's going to play an important role in implementing this and delivering on the promises that we've made to reduce the federal role, to restore state and local controls, and to, most importantly, to empower parents to hold schools accountable. Over the last 7 years, I've witnessed it in the state of Georgia, the federal government using rules and regulations and guidance to impose the one-size-fits-all policies and to micromanage schools and hampering the ability of parents and teachers and state and local officials to address the unique needs of their students. And that's very important to me. I believe that education at the local level is the best. So I'm very adamantly in favor of this, and I want to make sure that it's implemented like we intended for it to be. The reforms that we have in Every Student Succeeds gets the Washington bureaucrats out of it, and that's what we want, and that's very important. Very important to me, very important to my constituents. We can finally stop Common Core, and I can tell you in the 1st District of Georgia, this is what people have wanted, and we want to make sure this gets done. But I want to talk specifically about some provisions in the law that protect state and local early childhood efforts from federal interference. This is very important. The law is very clear that early child care and education programs are a state and local responsibility. In fact, I read from Section 8549B of the law, and you can see it here. It is the sense of Congress that the state retains the right to make decisions free from federal intrusion concerning its system of early learning and child care and whether or not to use funding under this act to offer early childhood education programs. Very clear on what we meant for that. It broadly outlines how states can better serve children and families, and it highlights the efforts to provide parents, the most important role that they play. They're the ones that are really the key here. It provides them with a variety of programs and services and protects the rights of local providers to design the programs that best meet the needs of the children that they serve. When it comes to implementing the Preschool Development Grant Program, the Every Student Succeeds Act deliberately clarifies. It says, nothing in this section shall be construed to authorize the Secretary of Health and Human Services or the Secretary of Education to establish any criterion for grants made under this section. Very clear on what we're stating there. The law also specifies that it's up to the states, not the federal government, to develop and implement learning curriculum, standards, assessments, as well as specific measures or indicators of quality in the systems that states use to assess the quality of the programs and the providers. You want to know why? The reason why is because it's parents and teachers who know what's best for their children, not the federal government. This is something I believe very strongly in. The states are now responsible. They're responsible now for defining terms such as high quality as it relates to early childhood programs, determining teacher qualifications and evaluations, specifying class sizes, setting expectations for the scope and duration of the programs, not the Department of Education. So, as the first 5 years fund wrote in support of these provisions, through the Every Student Succeeds Act, state leadership will have the opportunity to efficiently coordinate their early childhood systems, developing a plan to improve and expand upon what they are already doing. So, Dr. King, my question to you is, how will you work with the Department of Health and Human Services to ensure that these provisions are honored so that states can provide children and family quality early learning opportunities without federal interference?
We certainly, as we move forward with implementation of the preschool development grants and the successor program in the Every Student Succeeds Act, will continue to work closely with Health and Human Services to support states and districts in programs that they have designed that reflect their work on ensuring students have access to high-quality opportunities. I think as a country, as we think about the direction of early childhood education, we've got to be focused on the issue of quality. Are the teachers who are in early learning contexts well prepared for the diverse students with which they are engaging? Are we doing everything we can to ensure inclusive environments? As you know, we have programs for preschool children under IDEA, and to the extent that we can ensure that those students have access to